Alright, hello everyone. I'm going to do a couple radio headlines. Today is Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. We have a lot to get into, a lot of interesting stories that were posted on the Radio Insight website. We got the Nielsen audio ratings that are from Thursday, April 3rd to Wednesday, April 30th. Now, I want to mention in the New York market, we finally do have a number for La Exitosa, WEPN on 98.7, so about time, right? Okay, without further ado, let's just get into the New York numbers. So it is no surprise that the iHeartMedia adult contemporary station known as WLTW-FM 106.7 Light FM still has the number one rating in the five boroughs of New York City, down from an 8.0 to a 7.8. Odyssey News 1010 wins AM and 92.3 FM will go up from a 5.9 to a 6.0 stream. This may have something to do with coverage of the new Pope. Only to speculate on that, but it is possible. Spanish Tropical, La Mega 97.9, WSKQ 5.7 to a 5.5. Odyssey's Classic Hits 101.1 WCBS FM will go up. Well, actually, no. We'll go down from a 5.4 to a 5.3. iHeartMedia's Contemporary Hit Radio C100 WHTC 5.0 to a 5.1. Media Co. Adult R&B 107.5 WBLS FM will stay tied for fifth with C100 4.9 to a 5.1. Okay. NPR News Talk 93.9 WNYC FM will go down from a 4.7 to a 4.4 after riding its high from earlier this year at a 5.2. Red Apple Media's Conservative Talk 77 WABC 4.5 to a 4.2. This is interesting in terms of the battle of the battle of the hot AC stations. 103.5 WKTU will fall down from a 4.2 to a 3.5, while Odyssey's new 102.7 WNEW will hold from a 4.3 to a 4.2. Odyssey Sports 660 WFAN and 101.9 WFAN FM will trend up from a 2.2 to a 2.5 to a 3.1. Ratings expert Chris Huff notes that due to the Knicks playoff run and due to the excitement of the Subway Series between the Yankees and the Mets, it is most likely that the 3.1 rating that we are seeing for April will tick up a little bit. Do not be surprised from what Huff said could be a 4 something rating. He didn't give a number at the end, but that's what I've heard from him. K-Love Inc. Christian AC K-Love 95.5 WPLJ will slip down from a 1.8 to a 1.6 to a 1.3. Second straight month, Emmett's Bilingual Adult Contemporary WEPN FM 98.7 La Exitosa will remain at a 1.2. So finally, 2 straight months of a rating total, but it might take a little bit of time for La Exitosa to take off. But I've been enjoying them lately, and even my mom has been enjoying them. We're just happy that even my mom said it. This is what my mom told me, I think last weekend, quote, I am just glad that there is some music back on 98.7 where it belongs. And I get where she's coming from because she's a lifelong New Yorker. She remembered when Kiss FM was on the air a long time ago. Anyhow, let's move on to Long Island. And then we'll get to possibly my future radio market, Philadelphia. To be determined based on if SEPTA's cuts happen and if they cut the Wilmington line. But anyhow, Nassau, Suffolk. Okay, I know I don't talk about New York City stations in Long Island, but this is kind of important to know. And I'm going to shout out the the main primetime DJ of WHTC FM, and today's an anniversary for him, Josh Martinez. You may be wondering, why is the ratings great in Nassau and Suffolk? You may be wondering. This is the first time that WHTC FM has had the #1 rating in Long Island since January 2023 per Chris Huff, the ratings expert. 4.5 to a 6.2. Now, the reason why I'll mention Josh Martinez in this video, because again, today marks 4 years since he joined C100's lineup in May of 2021. Now, Josh actually used to be a main DJ on Cox Media Group's 106.1 WBLI. So, that's a main thing. Basically, it's like the whole Drake thing. Started from the bottom, now we here. And, you know, I posted on my Instagram at Andy. I did congratulate Josh today. But what's also important to note for C100 is the fact that you have Shelly Rome, who is another nighttime DJ who takes over at 10 p.m. and she goes into the overnights, and she does host the new hit list Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock. So maybe that could be a reason why Nassau and Suffolk is seeing a surge in the ratings. Chris Huff has also noted that because Billie Eilish has announced 2 new shows at UBS Arena, it's possible that C100 may want to take advantage of these numbers and possibly give away tickets for Billie's shows coming up this fall in October in Elmont. So don't be surprised if that is noted. Could happen. Why do I have to talk about New York City stations in Long Island? It doesn't make any sense, but I have to. For Nassau and Suffolk, WFAN's numbers will tally up to a 5.6. It is important to note that, again, with the Knicks and the playoffs, the excitement with the Yankees and the Mets could have something to do with it. WINS 5.7 to a 5.6, again, probably because of the Pope. Now, in terms of the #1 Nassau, the true Nassau Suffolk station in Long Island, yes, let's just eliminate the city stations. In terms of who's #1 for Nassau Suffolk, truly goes to Connoisseur Media's WAOK FM Hot AC 97.5 FM will retain the 5.5 share. Notable note for 77 WABC simulcast in the Hamptons. WLIR FM's 107.1 will dip from a 1.3 to a 0.9. I just want to take a look to see the other Long Island stations here. Man, WBAB. I mean, Roger and JP should be freaking out over their numbers right now. I don't know how they're not panicking over there, but they should. Cox Media Group's Classic Rock 102.3 WBAB, 95.3 WHFM FM will continue its slide down from a 5.6 to a 4.3. Now, in terms of the pop station in Long Island, I'm going to do my best Hobbyman CXC voice. Cox own 106.1 WBLI will trend down from a 4.5 to a 4.1. Connoisseur's soft adult contemporary K-Joy 98.3 will slide from a 4.5 to a 4.3. Okay, I got a problem. Can somebody tell me where WWWF is, and can somebody tell me where WHLI is? I mean, really, I know I don't want to complain, but yeah, I like to know those numbers. Thank you. And I also want to acknowledge the fact that where's 94.3 The Shark? Because I actually know one of the DJs very well, Andre Vero. He also does 98.3 too. I'm sure he's curious. Let's find out where those stations are, shall we? Okay. Wow, WHUD's counted in Nassau and Suffolk? Yeah, I guess because their signal is decently strong with 50,000 watts, especially on the North Shore. Anyhow, where is 103.1 The Wolf? There we go. Okay, WWWF, Long Island's country station, owned by Connoisseur. Goes from a 2.1, maintaining it from the past couple of months, to a 1.8. Oh, man, and I was listening to them out in Nassau today. Because I was in Nassau County. Okay, okay, why wasn't this acknowledged? Rock Station, WWSK, 94.3 The Shark, which, by the way, I also could pick them up from my location today because I was band scanning. 3.1 to a 3.0. Alright, well, that's interesting. At least the Shark's doing good in the ratings. At least that's what I care about. Okay, where's 104.7 WHLI? I'm getting pretty annoyed right now. Please tell me they were not counted off here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. WHLI, Connoisseur Media's oldest station, goes from a 1.6 to a 1.4. There you go. So there you have it. I mean, kind of concerning if you're 104.7 if you're 103.1 The Wolf. I mean, you're losing ground on the ratings all because a New York City station is trying to outshine you. I mean, again, I like Shelly, I like Josh, they're a powerhouse, and that's why I put them on my Instagram story today, which, honestly, they should be in a newspaper. You know, if this was the 1980s, and I will mention Elias B. Feaster, you know, always was fascinated with DJs being in the newspapers 40-something years ago. Like, if Shelly and Josh were working 40-something years ago, guarantee you they would have been in the newspaper. The success of C100, something like that, you know, because that's when C100 was first, you know, starting off. And remember, Elvis Duran is still the longest tenured employee. It's WHDZ-FM, by the way. Okay. Before we move on to Philadelphia, I want to see where XBK is. Okay, WQXR 105.9, 2.3 to a 2.2, and here's WXBK 1.7 to a 1.6. Okay, because we want to acknowledge our other stations. Okay, Power 105.1, Hip Hop and R&B 2.5 to a 2.4. Hot 97 remains the number one hip hop station in New York City, remaining at a 2.7. So again, largest radio market in New York City, and you can't acknowledge that in the article. I know I hate complaining, but really. Again, number one media market in the country. I don't know why you don't bring that up, but whatever. Okay, let's move on to the ninth largest media market in the country. Philadelphia, possibly. Look at that. WMGK is a 9.0. Congratulations to the folks at Beasley Media. They deserve this. Especially because every day at 4 o'clock they go commercial free on WMGK. That's a big congratulations. However, their sister rock station, 93.3 WMMR, will go down to a 7.6. Odyssey Sports, 94.1 WIP, will rebound from a 5.3 to a 7.2. Probably because I think a lot of Phillies fans got angry in April. Maybe that could be it. Adult R&B, 105.3 WDASFM, iHeart, 7.2 to a 6.5. Beasley's Country, 92.5 WXTU, 5.5 to a 5.4. Remember, they had a high, I think, a couple of months ago, because they were, I think, their highest number since they were a disco station back in the 70s. Okay, Odyssey's News, 1060 AM KYW, 103.9 WPHI, their sister simulcast, 4.7 to a 5.0. Odyssey's ACB 101.1, WBB 5.1 to a 4.8. Sister station WOGL Classic Hits Big 98.1. Okay, so they're from a 3.7 to a 4.1. Wow, congratulations. They're slowly coming back in the ratings. Adult alternative album. I don't know what AAA means anymore. WXPN 88.5 FM, 3.5 to a 3.8. It is a record high for the station per Chris Huff. iHeartMedia's Alt 104.5 after riding a high will go down from a 4.2 to a 3.6 to a 2.6. Beasley Sports 97.5, The Fanatic 2.1, 1.5, 1.3. Okay. Well, that's interesting to note, I guess. I don't want to get into Ben FM. I don't want to get into PSD because I'm like, I don't have the patience to get into it, please. Okay. Couple other interesting radio headlines to talk about. What? I've never heard of this station before. The Lou Information Station in St. Louis. KFNS Fox Sports 590 is going to a format change beginning on June 1st. Will now be KFNS to KLIS on Sunday, June 1st, as part of a digital content platform that will include live and on-demand shows available on its website, on a smartphone app, YouTube, and all podcasting platforms. So they will cover a variety of subjects with programming that will feature current events for St. Louis, local sports, which will probably discuss the Cardinals and the Blues, business, music, wellness, mental health, food, entertainment, and comedy. So they have a lot going on for them. Now this is an interesting one. So I like having a different format change that is unique and interesting. And I need a sip of water here because I am so excited for this. This is just the most random thing that I'm going to read right now about an oldie station. Because this is, again, folks, we don't really have that many exciting format changes. You know, I mean, look what happened in New York when TJ 98.7 became a bilingual AC station. This is what TJ always talks about all the time. People in the radio industry are so scared to try something new. You know, this is what we want to see more out of. Well, let's read this because this is exciting. Private owner Alan Weiner in Monticello, Maine, has flipped his adult contemporary station 98.3 FM The Mix, so that's AM 780 WXME and the translator W252DW, to Oldies 98.3 The Ride. And look at this. I love this. So Alan did a good job using an old Chevy Bel Air, or I don't know if this is an old school Chevy Impala. Somebody can clarify that. Wow, so this happened last Friday, May 15th. Finally. I mean, again, you need variety. I mean, you need to change things up to Alan if he's watching out there somewhere. Because, again, there's not that many privately owned radio stations as much anymore. Because the corporate men in suits is what Hobbyman TXC always talks about. There's just, you know, we need more of this. Wow. Look at that. Apparently, Alan also owns a classic country station, Kicks FM. So this small town in Maine, they should be very grateful to Alan because he's really going out of his way to bring great music to the airwaves. You know, this is something that we need in radio. I mean, again, I like the iHeart folks. I'm not kissing butt, but I'm just saying. I know some of those iHeart guys like Shelly and, Josh, Cubby, Christine, Helen. I mean, yeah, they do resonate with the New York radio waves, but, I'm just talking about small, privately owned radio. Why can't we have that anymore? Especially because I know in Delmarva, B106 is owned by a private individual. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Yes, this is something in Oklahoma here. Solar Media Group, led by a local ophthalmologist, Dr. Robert Solar, is going to basically take over corporate radio from Cox in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dr. Solar will be purchasing the following 4 stations in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He now owns K95.5 KWEN Hot Adult Contemporary. He also acquires Mix 96.5 KRAV Classic Rock. He will also acquire 103.3 The Eagle, KSJR. What else? And he gets a news talk station, 740 KRMG, 102.3 KRMG FM. Alright. I mean, and he also gets country station KWEN, K95.5. So 4 stations. Wow. Please tell me he's not doing this so that way he could promote his practice. See, I got a bad feeling why he's doing this. It's just like that guy here in New York that does the Dr. Lederman. He purchases all the radio time on WOR. He does overnight to promote his practice in Midtown. Please tell me this is not going to be the same as Dr. Lederman in New York. Why does the FCC allow this? Okay, let me read what Dan York from Cox Media Group said. One of the reasons Solar Media Group is the right transaction partner is their intent to invest in Tulsa radio stations and to build the momentum on the Tulsa team is established. We share the belief that there's a strong future for our radio stations and our people serving the Tulsa, Oklahoma community. The transaction is subject to approval to close in the second half of 2025. Mark Jorgensen of Jorgensen Broadcast Brokerage represents Solar Media Group. As I said, it's probably going to be just a trick to promote Dr. Solar's practice. I bet if you live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I'm telling you folks in Tulsa, again, be warned, because I'm in the largest media market in the country, and we get bombarded with Dr. Lederman commercials, especially on 1010 Wins. Just why? Just why? I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done. Okay, this is something interesting. West Palm Beach. Because I have a friend of mine who lives in Boca Raton. I don't know if she might have been able to pick up the station during Tropo. I mean, because remember, Florida is a state that's known for Tropo as much. But anyhow, let me read this. Hubbard Radio has bought conservative talk 850 WFTL to the FM dial. Oh no! Contemporary hit radio Party 96.3 and W242CI translator will now become the first conservative talk station on the FM market in West Palm Beach. Why? This is not needed. We don't need more people going blah 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 on the radio, especially on FM. I mean, yeah, no disrespect to WFAN's signal on 101.9 FM, but my goodness. Okay, so they were at 97.9. Wow. Brooke and Jeffrey. Oh no. Brooke and Jeffrey are carried on 101.7 The Beach. The only reason why I know that because that's the station that has TJ in the afternoon from 3 to 7. Okay, our last story for today will be Mix and Magic merge in La Crosse in Wisconsin. Magnum Media has merged two of its stations in western Wisconsin. Contemporary hit radio Mix 96.1 WLXR Toma and AC Magic 97.7 K50 AC La Crosse HD2. They've begun simulcasting, taking the Mix name in the AC format. The station will now carry the Reed and Chelsea Morning Show, heard on the company stations across the state, hosted by husband and wife duo Reed and Chelsea Magnum. That has been on K50 AC. Well, Natalie Wright will be the afternoon DJ. So, yeah, I don't want to get into any more of this, but I'm just gonna say this again. Just to sum up again, I'm gonna finish up with this because again, I'm still excited about this. I want to hear this. I'm first finding out about the station, so let me just see. To wrap this up, because I have to get ready for dinner. It's almost 7 o'clock here in New York City. Even though again I was in Long Island today. Let's see. They do have a web player. Good. Thank you, Alan. Again, we need more people to be risque with radio. We need more of that because this is. Alright, I don't know how this is going to work out. But at least they have a weekend thing. That's interesting. Oh, you know why? Because now that they're transitioning from AC music, that's why the website hasn't been properly updated yet. Okay. So I think I'm done here. I've had enough excitement for one day. I'm going to try to listen in to see if this reminds me of 104.7 WHLI. So that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. So until the next one, please take care.